Hello everybody, I'm Storm here, and today we're going to be starting up a new series, playing a game that I have been wanting to bring to the channel for quite some time, and that is Valkyria Chronicles. This is a JRPG and a strategic RPG. So if you're familiar with games like XCOM, there's going to be a lot of familiar mechanics here. So that's kind of what this game is, and you'll see that more as we proceed in. This game was originally released back for the PlayStation 3. It's definitely one of my favorite games of the PS3 era, and it's probably one of my favorite games of all time. And yeah, really kind of excited to get started on this. We're going to be playing with English voiceovers because, well, I personally prefer to play with the Japanese, but, you know, for you guys, it'd be more convenient for English, I would assume. So that is what we're going to be doing. As far as the premise of the game is, it's kind of set in a pseudo-fictionalized version of Europe during a Second World War analog. And our characters live in a neutral nation that borders both of the major superpowers involved in the war, and it kind of gets caught up in it. So that is kind of the real basic premise. Once we start playing the game, the opening cutscenes will kind of explain things as we go. So, without much further yakking by me, let's go ahead and start a new game, watch the opening cutscene, and get started with the prologue. And I am going to be playing with a controller, so you'll see a lot of controller input prompts.
The year was 1935 EC. Two powers controlled the continent. In the east, the sun rose over the autocratic East European Imperial Alliance, otherwise known as the Empire. In the west, a network of loosely allied democracies formed the Atlantic Federation. Both powers depended on a precious mineral, Ragnite, for their survival, and its growing scarcity led to the inevitable war. Hostilities began in the east when the Empire aggressively crossed their western border. The Atlantic Federation responded, and the Second European War was on. The Empire, with its vast military superiority, struck hard, gaining ground in early victories and putting the Federation on the defensive. Emboldened by their progress and momentum, the Empire set their sights beyond the borders of the Federation. In neighboring Gallia, a peaceful principality along the sea, they found their next victim. Gallia had long maintained its neutrality in the tensions between the two superpowers. But the rich stores of Ragnite under the Gallian soil proved too tempting for the Empire. It amassed troops along the eastern border and invaded with all the force of an avalanche. Prologue. Gallia to arms.
Alright, so here we are. And the structure of the game is built as if we are kind of going through a historical account of the war, in particular the war in Gallia. So it's kind of structured like a book, as you can see, and we're going to have the different chapters and everything as we go through. And yes, there is this mineral Ragnite, which is what all of the technology is based on, kind of an oil analog, and so everybody wants it, Gallia is rich in it, and so the Empire has launched an attack. And so that is where we are going to start. So these little sections here are cutscenes, and eventually we'll get to the actual map where we can do battle. So let's go ahead and just watch the next cutscene. There we go.
March, 1935. Outside the Gallian border town of Brule. Residents are leaving the town before the invasion, headed inland towards the capital.
I haven't been down this road in years. It really hasn't changed very much. Whoa. Already? Hey there, guys. You're beautiful. Starting early this year. You're heading upstream, huh? How's the water?
Freeze! Put your hands in the air. Slowly. Haven't seen you around before. What's your name?
My name's Welkin. And you are?
The one with the gun. We're with the Bruletown Watch. I'm Alicia. Alicia Melchiot. So, I'm wondering what you've been writing in that little book you've got there. Imperial spies are in the area.
This book is nothing, really. I was just sketching the fish and, you know...
Yes. Oh, I know. And you know there's a war on, don't you? All right then, Mr. Artist. We'll talk about fish sketching down at the station. Take him away.
Thanks, fish.
Alright, so we had our introduction to our first two major characters. And so we'll move on to the next chapter here. And yeah, Welkin and his obsession with fish. Alright, so let's go ahead and watch this.
Flowers, bugs, and fish. You're not bad with a pen, are you? I have to say, they're really very good.
Thank you. So you see, I really was just sketching.
Maybe. Or this could be some kind of secret code. And I intend to take my time finding out for sure.
Great.
Welks? Is that you?
Isara! Oh, your timing is perfect.
What have you gotten yourself into now, Welkin? Wait. Don't you live at the old general's house?
That's right. I'm General Gunther's daughter, Isara.
You do know everyone's supposed to evacuate, right?
Yes, I'm aware of that. My brother's here to help me move to the capital, but that may be difficult. I mean, unless you're willing to let him go, that is.
Huh? I apologize, but I was just doing my job, you know. I saw you with the notebook and thought you were a spy. Again, I'm really sorry about that.
Thanks. Don't worry about it. I can see how I might have looked a little suspicious.
Welks has a real passion for observing nature. That's why he's studying it at the university, right?
Guilty as charged. I get so into it sometimes I forget where I am or that somebody might be watching me.
Gunfire! Everyone keep your heads down!
Over there! Come on! Damn it!
Welkin, you can handle a gun, right?
Yeah. I mean, I made it through training anyway.
Well, they're probably just a small scouting team. We should be able to take them out.
I'm with you.
Alright, so the attack has begun. Alright, we're gonna get some tutorial there. I just want to check something. I'll be back in just a second. Pause recording a moment. I was just checking to see if I could turn the voices up. They seemed a little quiet to me, but hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin our first battle. Encounter at Brule. Alright.
Okay, here's the plan.
Alright, so we've got to eliminate the Imperial Scouts that are approaching Brule. We'll deploy from here and take out all 3 of them. Now just cross the bridge and take them down as fast as you can. Objective here is eliminate all enemies. Let's take care of them one at a time, nice and easy. Alright, so we must defeat all enemies, and if Welkin or Alicia dies, or 20 turns pass, we lose.
Let's get started. Just stay calm and get it done.
We shouldn't take 20 turns to do this. In fact, if I do this right, it won't take very long at all.
I see 3 of them.
That's 3 too many. Stay sharp. Listen a second. There's something I should explain.
Okay. Command points. When combat starts, you'll see a map of the area and your unit's positions. This is the command mode. Alright, so we'll select the unit we want to move based on the position. And select them. We get the command points, which when we... which represents the number of time we can give instructions or control a unit. Alright, so we have 3 command points, so we can issue instructions to units 3 times, and we'll try moving a unit. Alright, so you see the command points up the top. This is turn 1. I am going to select Alicia.
Okay.
And then we have action points. And then we're in action mode. We can move freely about the field. And then it will consume action points as we move. Alright, so this represents the unit's mobility. Once it reaches 0, the unit will be unable to move any further. Keep an eye on the unit's remaining AP while they are in motion is critical to keeping them safe. Alright, so we'll now move our control stick to move the character to the sandbags. Alright, and then we press the trigger button to enter target mode. There. We'll attack with our weapon, move the crosshairs for the enemy, and fire at them. Yeah, piece of cake. Shots land somewhere within the circle, so it's kind of random. And then there are headshots will result in more damage. And we can only do it once per action. So. And if the target survives, they may counterattack us. So we have to make sure that we don't attack them with someone who has too low of health, because we may not survive the counterattack. Okay. So go ahead, crouch here, go into attack mode here, and aim for the head, and do it.
Please hit.
Got him. Alright, and we end action. A unit with 0 remaining AP. We end our turn, and we go back to command mode and select another unit, or the same unit again, actually. Alright, so I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to continue to advance because I have action points remaining. About cover, which I just used. So yeah, certain objects can be used as cover. And when cover units are hard to target, take less damage, and immune to headshots and other critical damage. So, units caught out in the open by enemy attacks will be easier to hit and take significantly more damage. So we advance carefully, moving from cover to cover to stay hard. Again, another concept that if you're familiar with XCOM or anything similar to that, should be fairly familiar. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and get up to this cover. And I'll have to end the action because I can't fire again in the same action. But I have another command point, and I can select Alicia again. And then I can fire again, because the gun can be fired infinitely. Alright, aim for the headshot.
Now!
Boom. Done. Alright, there's another enemy over there. I'm going to continue to advance. Get into cover here. And the action. I'm going to select Alicia again. Go over the sandbags. I'm going to get right up in this guy's face and blow his head off. Alright. Piece of cake.
I don't see any more of them.
Alright, A rank. And then we get EXP and we get money that we can use later. No, I'm definitely not going to be A ranking or, you know, maximum ranking every mission. Because, you know, that's just not the way I typically play. So, you know, I'm just going to be playing through the game, doing as best I can. Alright. So now we can view the next cutscene.
Miss Melchior, there's no other sign of the enemy.
Good. Now, go keep watch and stay alert.
Yes, ma'am. What should we do with the bodies, ma'am?
We'll bury them. So it's begun. I'll do whatever it takes to protect the people of this town. I'll do it. Even going to war, I'll do it.
What are those?
Seeds from the lion's paw. It blooms white, small, simple, and strong.
I want to be able to remember, once the war is over, that it wasn't all just people killing people. That even in war, there was also new life.
On the 15th day of the 3rd month of the year 1935, the Empire began its assault in earnest. A formal declaration of war was made upon Gallia. Though it was only a small front in a massive continental assault, what followed would prove that a tiny nation could best a military giant. These events would tell a story of tragedy hidden in the mists of time. A story of courage and of trust, of persecution and hate, and of love blooming even through the flames of war. What follows is a record of this conflict, and of those who fought, lived, and died. Chapter 1. In Defense of Brule.
Alright. So that is the prologue of the game, and we are into it proper. And so we now have the In Defense of Brule, and this is going to be a whole lead up to another battle. So what thing I'll probably do is just go ahead and end the first episode here. We're just kind of getting our feet wet, getting started in the game, and we'll go ahead and work on the first chapter of this story when we come back. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.